Every day, we see companies and nonprofit organizations sell products that add value to our lives. And it's great to see. But the way those products are made, the way the people who make those products are treated, the way they're paid, the way the products kind of come to the market as well as come to you is all part of this sort of zero waste or sustainability type of model that we need more of. And today's episode is actually sponsored by one of those companies that make a great effort and are able to produce a company that not only benefits the environment, but benefits the people that make the products that they sell. The company is Ocean Soul. They are not only the sponsor for this podcast, but they are also the subject matter and the topic of this podcast. We have Sagimo and Tilda Bouloux, who are here to talk about their work with Ocean Soul, the beach cleanups they do, the work that they do with taking flip-flops and making them into not only art pieces, but pieces that actually have some functionality. So we're going to talk to them and about Ocean Soul on this episode of the How to Protect the Ocean podcast. Let's start the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the How to Protect the Ocean podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Lewin. This is the podcast where you find out what's happening with the ocean, how you can speak up for the ocean, and what you can do to live for a better ocean by taking action. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the things that you can do to take action and live for a better ocean is buy one of the pieces from Ocean Soul. I am holding a piece that was sent to me by Ocean Soul, who's the sponsor of this podcast and a partner with Speak Up for Blue, my company. And if you go to oceansoul.com, you can grab and buy pieces. And this piece that I'm looking at is the shark mouth. That's made completely from flip-flops, different colors, brightly colored. No two items are the same. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's a phone holder, and I use it to hold my phone. It even has a slot to plug in your phone to power. It's really great. It's amazing. It looks amazing. It's very cute if you really think about it. It's a shark's mouth with teeth and everything, and the eyes, and sort of they've got even the top of the head sort of like in a perfect shape. So these items are available, and the reason why I asked them to be a sponsor on the podcast and sort of have an interview with them is because, you know, I always talk about finding companies that are good for the ocean and that are good for us. And this company is that. They're not only good for the ocean and good for sort of the us in terms of the products we make, but they're good to their employees. They work out of Kenya along the coastline. And in this interview, you're going to hear Sagimo and Tilda Bouloux talk about sort of the work they do in cleaning up the oceans and how they gather the flip-flops and how the ocean mamas, as they're termed, gather and pick up the ocean trash, not only flip-flops, and then how they're supported, how that community is supported where they work, how they work with fishers, how they work with school groups. It's one of those feel-good stories where you see a company that's doing their best to not only protect the piece of ocean that's in front of them, but also to benefit many of the people who live around that coastline, and also you and I who grab these products and have them in our household. And I love what they're doing, and they're always pushing the envelope in terms of trying to do more good, and that's why I had them on as a sponsor. I asked them to be a sponsor, and I was so happy when they agreed. So before we start with the interview, I want you to go over to oceansoul.com, and I want you to purchase one of these as you're listening to the podcast, or to even just peruse, because there's different sizes and everything, but they're just amazing. They're amazing work, and they brighten up your office, your room, wherever you put it. I think it's great. Great for kids, great for yourself. Highly recommend it. Anyway, that's oceansoul.com. Here is the interview with Sagimo as well as Tilda Bouloux. Enjoy, and I will talk to you after. Hey, Tom and Tilda, welcome to the How to Protect the Ocean podcast. Are you ready to talk about Ocean Soul?
Yeah,
Yes, we
we are ready to
are.
talk about.
Awesome. Very, very excited to have both of you on. This is a really important episode for me because I always like to have, businesses that do really good things. And we've had, Aaron on before from Ocean Soul to talk about sort of the business of Ocean Soul. And now we're really getting into sort of the mechanics of it all and the great things that you guys do for the community, for the ocean in and around Kenya. And this is going to be fun for me because I don't know much about Kenya. I've never done it. I've never had the opportunity to do work there. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing about sort of the inner workings of sort of the coastal management and how the communities get involved. And so that's what we're going to learn about today. But before we do, Thomas, why don't you just let us know who you are and what you do?
Thank you so much, Andrew. So I am Thomas Sagimo. I am an environmentalist. I did a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science at one of the universities in Kenyan coast. And I have this keen interest in marine and research and conservation. And currently I'm working at Ocean Soul as a program coordinator. I coordinate different activities which are embedded towards conserving marine ecosystem, improving the local community livelihoods, and raising awareness to the local community and to students around the Kenyan coast.
What an opportunity to be able to work in a field for like a company like Ocean Soul. What were you doing before Ocean Soul?
Well, so after, let me go back, way back, because after graduating, I was having passion in forest and I in forest conservation and management. So after graduating, I went and did internships in a forest management organization. Then after COVID, we were furloughed where I was. Then I decided to I just got an opportunity to volunteer in a community sea turtle conservation project. Then I decided to take that opportunity, and doing that opportunity is when it gave me a passion in marine conservation and in doing anything to do with marine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're volunteering to do that type of work. And how did you get hooked up with Ocean Soul?
When I was volunteering with the community sea turtle project along in the Kenyan coast, I met with a lady where we were organizing international coastal cleanup in the southern part of Kenyan coast, and since I was good at managing and coordinating all that, I just got this opportunity of coordinating the one at the northern part of Kenyan coast, and that's the way I met the Ocean Soul team. They were
Nice.
also doing the international coast cleanup in the
Mm.
northern part, but I was preparing in the one for the southern part. So I came really quick, and that's how I got Tilda and the team, and now I'm in at Ocean Soul.
So what made you want to work with Ocean Soul in particular?
Yeah, so Ocean when I heard of Ocean Soul, I did my research about it and I saw what they're doing, and my passion has always been I always want to be working with an organization that take action. That's what Ocean Soul does. Take action to clean our polluted beaches, to work closely with the community. Because also I love working with the community towards conservation, and that's why I just loved working with Ocean Soul because they do a lot in terms of taking action, uh, and helping the community, which I also loved.
Did somebody work in this role before, or was this a new role that was created for you? Was this like this program manager role? Was there somebody else doing it with you before, or is this a new role for you?
No, there was some. It was not a new role. There was someone who was there. Then I just came and replaced her.
And what do you do? Like what are some of the different projects that you work on? Because I know it's quite a wide variety of projects. So I'm interested to hear what type of projects you work on.
So basically, Ocean Soul, we clean the polluted beaches, and there's this project that we call it like plastic and livelihood, whereby we try to help to improve livelihood and to try to show the community of how they can get a living out of that plastic that they collect. So when we conduct this beach cleanup, there are as Ocean Soul, we take the flip flops, then the rest remain, and and since we do these cleanups with local community around the coast with a specific group called Ocean Soul Mamas. So when when Ocean Soul takes the flip flops, the rest of the plastic, the PET bottles and toothbrush, the lighters, the women take them, and with that, I show them of recyclers who can recycle those things, and in return, they will be given some money, which will help them establish themselves as a group, and which will create impact to the community, the positive impact.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. I love the name, by the way, the Ocean Soul Mamas. I think it's such a fun. It sounds like a fun group of women who are able to do this. If Ocean Soul wasn't there, would the people who are doing the beach cleanup, is that part of a normal life? You know, just cleaning up the coastline and cleaning up the beaches?
No, well, conservation, sometimes it needs passion and sometimes it needs that one push. With when we have worked, when they volunteer basically to do this, it's hard for them, and you need to give them an alternative or something like that. But Ocean Soul has come through to help the women and to give them this, to motivate them to do more about that, because you cannot. Where you cannot tell a mother who is feeding the family to come basically collect plastics, and he is not getting any return apart from helping the environment. So Ocean Soul really works close with these women. We compensate them, we give them lunch, and and transport whenever they come to the beach clean. And with that, it's a way of motivating them. And also my role is just to make them stable, because before I came in, I got them not that stable, the Ocean Soul Mamas. But with me, I want them to be a formal group where they can get the impact. The impact can be felt.
So how many women are we talking about that work in this group?
Yeah, 15.
Essentially, what they do is they'll clean up the beaches. They'll all the flip flops that come out of that cleanup will go to Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul will pay the Ocean Soul Mamas for those flip flops, and then you work with them to grab other items that could be recyclable that they can get money for. And is this is this enough to provide them with enough money for food and stuff for the household?
Yeah, speaking from some, whatever they get there, it really helps them. Yeah. Many have they've testified. They've said they've done poultry. Others they were able to cultivate their land just because of what they're getting. So yes, it helps them a lot.
We do have a daily payment rate that we pay the girls. So it's not just paying for their flip flops and giving them food. They are given they are paid properly for the cleaning that they do, because as Thomas said, they have families to support, and that is what we're here to do. Ocean Soul is about the community. So obviously what Thomas is talking about, when we pay people per flip flops, we obviously can't pay the entirety of everyone on the coast aside pick up trash. It would bankrupt business. So what we do to try and support communities is we buy the flip flops off people. So it's like a balance.
Yeah, you're creating, jobs for people who wouldn't have jobs normally to do that type of work, right? A lot of times people would have to volunteer just to clean up, just for the sake of cleaning up the beaches. Here, it provides them with, a reason to do it. It's an incentive to do it, especially for moms who are taking care of a lot of the things. Now, I want to talk. We talked about this at another meeting because I wanted to highlight this. How much trash is picked up? Like, how much is picked up? Like on a regular basis, let's just say, like a say one day, How much trash is picked up? Because I feel like you mentioned the bags are pretty heavy.
So I will just use the last time data that the last weekend we did a beach clean, and
Yeah.
we collected 399 kgs of waste from the beach, and our sack
Wow.
our sacks were full. Our sacks were full, and we left others. We will probably go back to collect.
Wow. And people are carrying this off the beach. It's not just like you put it, like you load it up. You carry it like a good way, right? You're carrying this weight. It's quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, it's quite a bit because one bag can carry about 30 kgs.
Jeez, that's insane. So that's like
Yeah.
just over 60 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And these women must be pretty strong at this point.
Yeah, they're really strong. They're really strong. Yeah, they're really strong.
That's awesome. That's so good. That's so good. Keeps everybody fit, I guess. That's so. I don't know if I could be able to do that all day in that sun in Kenya. That's fantastic.
So like during January, December, we don't always there's not too much trash. Therefore, we normally go to remote beaches where getting there you can't get with a motorbike. You have to walk or something. And
Oh
there was
wow.
this particular time that we went to a certain beach. It was really dirty. We collected so many liters, and the problem now was taking it to the road. We had to walk and carry. So the women, when somebody's tired, then we carry like that.
Yeah. So you got to work as a team to get it back. So like how many?
Yeah.
We were probably looking at a couple of kilometer walk to get back to the I guess main
Not a
road.
kilometer. It's not not a kilometer. It was not that too far. Yeah.
Okay, but still, to carry those bags that far, that's a lot. That's a lot of work. Again, especially in that heat. I don't know if I can handle the Kenyan heat with doing all that work. That's amazing. That's so cool. And so, how does it, like, for the mamas who are doing this, from a community perspective, is this something that they volunteer for, they get interviewed for, or like how are they recruited?
So so they started as volunteering.
Okay.
They were volunteering. Uh, with volunteering, some could miss, some could come. But with that, the more they were the team was growing, and the more that they saw an opportunity out of trash is when it became stable, and it's going to be stable for.
And then how many areas along the coastline do you guys pick up? You mentioned some of the remote areas in January.
Yeah.
Do you have specific areas that you target?
So let me just be clear. We do beach cleanup along the Kenyan coast. It does not depend where, but with the Ocean Soul Mamas, they're in a town called Kilifi.
Okay.
So we do, yeah. So every week, Ocean Soul does a beach clean, and we do with the three mamas. For 1 month, we do with the Ocean Soul Mamas 3 times,
Okay.
and the fourth time we reach out to a different group elsewhere along the Kenyan coast.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, along the Kenyan coast. And just to be clear, apart from that, we have different groups that are designated in different beaches, whereby we buy flip-flops from them. We go and raise awareness about the impact of pollution, how they can earn something. Then we have them in different places, whereby when they collect flip-flops and they're ready, we give them, we buy them. It depends with their kgs. We give them money, and they give us flip-flops. So it's we do a lot in the Kenyan coast. It's not just the mamas.
Yeah.
We have also fishermen, the youths, yeah, and different groups.
So speaking of the fishermen, because I remember we talked about this before. So how did you approach the fishermen? Did they approach you, or did you did you build a relationship with them?
No, I built a relationship with them. Yeah, so I have when we were doing the sea turtle conservation work, we were going too much to the field to talk about with these fishermen, to teach them on how to, poaching. It's poaching of sea turtles. It was done by fishermen, so we were reaching out to them to talk about them. So that gave me a good rapport with them, and I had contacts. So it's easy for me to get them. That's how.
Oh, okay, so when you had sea turtle work with them before, and when you approached them about doing beach cleanups, were they interested? Did it take some convincing to do, or how did that go about?
Yeah, it took some convincing to do, because there are fishermen are always busy when they're not on the boat. They are sleeping probably, or selling the fish. But reaching them, I just with Ocean Soul, with the paying them when they do beach cleanup. That is what really motivates them. They know when they come, they can take home some food for the family to eat. That really motivates them.
And do they collect this when they're out at sea, like the trash, or do they just do it through along the coastline as well?
We're doing on the beach.
Is it areas where they live or areas where they go out to fish?
Oh, it's called a landing site. It's the area. It's the area where after fishing they come to sell the fish.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on. And they can make
And
extra
also,
money from that. That's awesome.
yeah, and also they a bit, some percentage also, fishermen, they come with these bottles, they throw them. So when with working with them, it's a way of raising awareness to them,
Yeah.
just to show them there's this problem and you can do this. Yeah.
So you mentioned fishermen. What were some of the other groups that you work with? Was it school groups?
Yeah. Also, yeah. We do also beach cleanup with students and youths also.
Okay, and how do you have specific schools that you work with on a regular basis?
So with schools, we work with public schools, but
Okay.
we will also reach out to private. Yeah, and these schools, we aim schools that are close to the beach, schools that are close to the beach, and whatever we do, we also go to teach them. So what we do, it's we try to have a beach clean with them, so that they can also see the problem of plastic pollution. When we go to schools to teach them, we don't just want them to say, we don't want us to say that there's this plastic pollution. We want them to see first. So we do a beach clean with them, and they see the problem. Then we go back to their school and teach them on different type of plastics or marine litter that they saw. Yeah, like that. And it's a chain it's a chain of training where we want them to really know about the problem. Yeah, and important on how to take action by they reuse PET bottles and everything.
And what's their reaction when they see all that trash on the beach?
They're just always surprised, but whatever they always it always mind blows them. It's when we tell them about recycling and we show them what Ocean Soul does. I always pick up a small art of maybe a turtle, and I show them, this art is made out of flip-flops, and they're always surprised. They're saying, no way, no way. Then I have to convince them. And so with that, since they always ask us that question, we are coming up, me with Tilda, we're coming up with a program that we are going to these schools and to actually do we recycle with them, so that they can believe that art, you can make something from these flip-flops.
So you're going to show them essentially how it's made from the flip-flops to the actual, well, almost the final product. Is that it? Like show will they participate in that as well? Will they be able to try and make one as well?
Yeah, just to be able to try. Cool. It's not that they need to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can imagine the way these are designed and the way they look. I don't know how. I don't know if it's just me. I'm not very artistic, but I don't know how they're made. It's unreal to just see all the different colors being incorporated in them, and they're so bright and so colorful. And each art piece, even the one behind you right now, for those of you who can see the video, even the one behind you of a mermaid is fantastic. The amount of detail that goes into it is just it's ridiculous. Yeah, there it is right there. And I have a manta ray here, and I always look at it and I'm like, I have no idea how this project begins, like how someone can take flip-flops and then put that together. I think it's phenomenal. So I think it's great to get the students involved in seeing how it's actually made. to show them sort of the work that goes behind it and what you can do, sort of the products you can make with these flip-flops. Such a cool thing to be able to show students and maybe inspire them to one day be able to do them. It'd be cool to see what they could make out of those flip-flops. I'm sure in the future that'd be a cool program. Tilda, do you know when that program's going to roll out?
We're still not quite yet. We're still kind of like ironing out some of the kinks and stuff because of like health and safety. Because like our sculptures, our carvers use knives.
Right. Gotcha.
So, and also what is really amazing about the carvers that we have up in the workshop in Nairobi is that it's the skill of carving is something that's very traditionally passed down through their families, and so they have natural talent towards the shaping and producing these products. But I'm not sure if Erin said to you in her previous podcast, but it was actually the coastal mamas that inspired Ocean Soul, because they get all this trash washed up on the ocean, and they would start pulling pieces of driftwood, bottle top, and flip top to make toys for their kids and to sell these toys as products. So, I mean, it's really interesting. Like I'm really excited because there's been a huge movement, especially in Eastern Africa, and I'm sure the rest of Africa too, towards this like sustainable art and this like recycled art. And I really recommend, if you have some time, like looking into it further, because there are some amazing artists that out there who are kind of taking all this trash which the world is flinging out and actually making something beautiful from it. I mean, it's a story that is growing everywhere.
I can imagine. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people just want to, pick up the trash on the beach and then just, dispose of it. But to be able to, reshape it, make something of it, I think is a beautiful thing. It reminds you of what's coming up from the ocean, but also being able to adapt to it and use it, in a manner that's productive and that's fun for everybody. I think that's really cool. I'd love to, if you have any contacts, that would be great to have on the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. I don't think people realize, including myself, how much trash comes up on the beach for many of the places around the world, constantly. Even to fuel a business like Ocean Soul, that's how much, how many flip-flops are gathered and given and you pay for and you make these art pieces from. It's just it's phenomenal just to see how much stuff comes up. So it's great to see people doing wonderful things with it, making manta rays or mermaids or giraffes or elephants. And I highly recommend anybody listening to this to go on the Ocean Soul website, which I'll put in the show notes, because some of these, all of them, every single piece is phenomenal. It's quite a wonder to look at, and I have the manta ray that's always beside me when I do these recordings, to kind of remind me of why I do these podcasts, is to meet people the people like you guys from Ocean Soul, to be like, there are people who are doing amazing things out there, who are working to not only work to help clean up the ocean and make ocean conservation a thing, but also work with communities and be able to incorporate the communities and provide benefits to those local communities. So this has been great to have both of you on the podcast to be able to talk about this. I look forward to we're going to have more people from Ocean Soul on the podcast as well, to talk more about some of the programs that they do. And it's just absolutely wonderful. So Tom, Tilda, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it. And looking forward to having you back on someday.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Looking forward to having you back. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Tom and Tilda, for joining us on the How to Protect the Ocean podcast. It was great to have you on. Great to learn about a company such as Ocean Soul that's doing such great work for the community and where they work. This is a big thing in affecting where you are gathering your source material and how you're gathering the source material, and supporting the communities where those source materials actually end up. And I think, as someone who likes to do their research and be able to look at companies and say, hey, this is a company that's good to buy from or that's good to support, that's that's perfect for me. And to be able to hear that information and to be able to get it straight from Tom's mouth and Tilda's mouth is fantastic. The transparency that this company works with, the ability to work with artisans who are able to create these wonderful products. The detail in some of these products are unbelievable, to be honest. So I highly recommend it. It's oceansoul.com. You can go over there and you can shop and support this group. It's a fantastic organization, and I highly recommend it. But I want to thank Tom for all the work that he does, Tilda for all the work that she does. I know they don't live in the same city, but they work very closely with each other, and the energy is fantastic. Their passion is amazing for the ocean, and it's contagious, to be honest, when you talk to them. And everybody else at Ocean Soul who I have met over my time working with you and our future working together, I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But that's it for today's episode. If you have a question or comment about this episode, you can DM me at How to Protect the Ocean, all one word, at How to Protect the Ocean on Instagram, or on Threads. You can message me or at me if you want. I don't think you can message yet on Threads, but it's at How to Protect the Ocean. And if you want to grab something, which I highly recommend, from Ocean Soul to support them, it's Ocean, SOLE.com. It's oceansoul.com. Check it out. Support the organization. Support the work that they do. Find out more about what they do. But we'll have more episodes, more interviews with people from the organization and what they do and how they support this great organization and the products that they make. But we'll have more of that coming up soon. But until then, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the How to Protect the Ocean podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Lewin. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time, and happy conservation.